Welcome to T1 Academy. In our last sessions, we finished discussing about ratio and proportion. So today we will continue for the same thing. One of the important concepts of the same ratio and proportions, that is mixtures and alligations. In this video, we are going to learn about the mixtures concept mostly, and in the further videos, we will see about the alligations. So what is this mixtures and alligations? If you observe carefully, what happens in this mixtures and alligations concept is, for example, first of all, let us try to understand some basic things from this mixtures and alligation. Okay, the first thing is, there is a jar. Assume that the jar contains some milk and water in the ratio of some 2:3. 2:3. Milk and water are in the ratio of 2:3. And there is one more jar, which contains only milk of 30 liters. Okay, here the overall mixture capacity is some 50 liters. Assume that. Okay. Now when I draw 10 liters from this one, when I draw 10 liters from this jar, what is my output, or what my output contains is milk of what? 10 liters. Why? Because this jar is completely filled with what? Milk, only milk, right? Okay, good. Now when I do the same thing in this one, that means when I take out 10 liters from this jar, now what is the quantity of milk and water will come out is, see here students, actually we cannot say exactly what will happen there, but we will assume that whatever the ratio in which milk and water are present, that in the same ratio milk and water will come out. That means when I draw 10 liters from this, there is no chance that all the 10 liters will be only milk or all the 10 liters will be only water. There will be a mixture of milk and water, and that too in what ratio? Whatever the ratio in which they are present inside the jar, the same ratio they will come out. That means see here, I am taking out 10 liters, right? In that 10 liters, the quantity of milk will be, milk is how many parts? 2 parts. Out of total, how many parts are there for me here? 5 parts. So 5 ones, 5 twos. So I will get here 4 liters of milk will come out from the jar. When I draw 10 liters from it, out of those 10 liters, 4 liters will be milk. When it comes to water, out of 10, if 4 are milk means water will become 6. Okay, that is one way. Or if technically if I want to be, in 10 liters, water is of how many parts? 3 parts out of 5 parts overall portion. So 5 ones, 5 twos. So water will be how many liters? 6 liters. Understood, students? Whenever there is a mixture in a jar, when I draw some quantity from that, whatever the ratio in which the mixture is present in the jar, in the same ratio the elements will come out. Whether it is milk and water, sometimes alcohol, spirit, whatever the terminology they use, but the concept remains the same here. Okay, next thing. When I draw 10 liters from this, there still the jar contains how many liters? The jar will contain some 40 liters of mixture. The jar will contain some 40 liters. In this 40 liters, the same ratio will be presented. Okay, there will be no change in the ratio of milk and water. Why? Because nothing is added to it. Whatever the ratio which was present earlier, in the same ratio it will be there. Until and unless you add a new component or you add a new mixture. Understood, students? Basic concept. Two things you should understand here. The first one is, when you draw some quantity from a mixture, whatever the ratio in which the mixture contains, the output also contains in the same ratio, or the quantities also comes out in the same proportion. And next, after drawing some quantity from the mixture, the quantity will change. The quantity of the mixture will change, but the proportion or the ratio in which they are present will not be changed. They will still continue in the same ratio, that is 2:3. 2:3. These are the two major things you should understand. Why? Because later while solving the problems, we will do this application directly. Okay, this is regarding the mixtures. And next thing, when you mix, already in our last session of our ratio and proportions, we have seen one formula. What is the formula there we have discussed? When a quantity is replaced with a new quantity, what is the formula we used there? Final quantity by initial quantity is equal to 1 minus replaced quantity by total quantity quantity whole to the power of n, where n is number of times the process was done. Okay, whenever a jar is filled with a similar quantity of liquid, if it is replaced with some equal quantity, then we will use this formula. Okay, this is the basic concept of mixtures. Okay, this is the basic concept of the mixture concept. Okay, mixtures. We will see some of the problems. With the help of problems, we will try to learn all the possible concepts from this mixtures and alligation. Now see here, while making a sugar solution of 3 liters containing 40% sugar for a sweet, okay, 1 liter of water is added, the percentage of sugar in the new solution is. Now actually, please see here students, in 3 liters 40% of sugar was there, right? So what is 40% means? 40 by 100 into 3 liters. 40 by 100 into 3 liters. If you are really good, you can directly write 2 by 5 into 3. It is up to you. So now what happens to this one? 2 by 5 into 3 means this will comes 6 by 5. So 1.2 liters of sugar will be there here. Such to is sugar, will sugar be calculated in liters means? In this case they calculated, that's it. No need to worry about the measuring unit, no need to worry. In this case they calculated the sugar in 1.2 liters, don't worry. Okay, now 1 liter of water is added to it. 1 liter. So earlier it is how many liters are there? 3 liters are there. Now new quantity is how much, tell me? New quantity, that means total quantity will become how much for me? 4 liters. But when it comes to the sugar quantity, will it be changed or remain same? It remains the same in this case. It remains same in this case. There is no change in the sugar quantity. So the ratio will become now what for me? 1.2 by 4. 1.2 by 4. And they asked us in the percentage of the sugar in new solution. Sugar is 1.2 liters out of total 4 liters into 100. Into 100. Solve for this, what you will get? 4 ones, 4 25s. Okay. You will get 1.2 into 25 means 30 percentage. 30 percentage. So the sugar in my new solution will become how much? 30 percentage. 30 percentage. Okay. Next one. A container has 20% milk and 80% water in it. It is mixed with another sample in equal quantity. See here, having 80% milk and 20% water. What would be the milk content in the final mixture? Now please observe here students. Whenever two quantities, equal quantities are mixed, directly, please see here in my first solution how much percentage is there milk percentage? 20 percentage. In my second solution how much milk percentage is there for me here? 80 percentage. Now when they are mixed in equal quantity, remember you can take directly their average. So what happens to this one? 20 plus 80 by 2. Why? Because each are mixed in equal quantity. That means 1:1 ratio, right? 1:1 ratio. So that is the reason 20 plus 80 by 2, you will get here as 100 by 2, which is equal to 50 percentage. The resultant will contain 50 percentage of milk. The resultant will contain 50 percentage of milk. Or else, sir, this is little bit confusing for us. Means, see, actually this is the simplest way. But if you want to solve it, you can see. In the first one, what is the milk and water ratio? 2:8. You can further cancel it. If you want, you can cancel it, else no need to worry. So for timing, I will write as 1:4. Okay. In the second one, milk and water ratio are in what ratio? 8:2. Am I correct? Why? Because 80% of milk, 20% of water. So this one also I will write it as 4:1. Okay, 4:1 and now equal quantities, right? Equal quantities. So before mixing them, make sure that their total components are equal. Here 1 plus 4 is 5, here 1 plus 4 is 5. So now you can add them directly. So 5:5. So milk and water will be in what ratio? 5:5 for me here. 5:5 in the sense 1:1. 5:5 means 1:1. So 1:1 means what? Equal parts, that means 50% of milk and 50% of water. Anyway, in the question they asked us what is the quantity of milk for me here. Just now I told you, you can directly write it as milk as 50% of milk. That liquid contains, that mixture contains 50% of milk for me. Now see the next question, similar one. 3 bottles of same capacity are 30%, 40% and 25% full of orange juice respectively. They are filled up completely by adding apple juice. Okay. Now The contents of the 3 bottles are emptied into another vessel. What is the percentage of apple juice in the mixture? See here students, this one is similar to our milk case earlier. We will try to solve in the similar. 30% means what you can write? As I have already told you, when they are in the equal quantity. Why? Because same capacity. The vessels will have same capacity. Same capacity means all will have the equal size or equal dimensions, whatever it may be. So now please see here 30%, 40% and 25%. So there are only 2 vessels, so I have taken by 2. Here I have 3 vessels, so I will take by 3. Average, sum of observations by number of observations. So 30 plus 40 plus 25 by 3. Okay, what I will get here? 95 by 3. 95 by 3. 95 by 3. So 95 by 3 means what is its value? 31 2 by 3 percentage. But this is of which quantity? This is the quantity of orange juice. This is the percentage of orange juice. But in our question they asked us about what? What is the percentage of apple juice in the mixture? In total 100 percentage, if orange juice is 31 2 by 3 percentage, what about the apple juice for us here? Now apple juice will become what in this case? Apple juice will become 100 minus 31 2 by 3. If you observe carefully, this will become what for us? 68 1 by 3 percentage. 68 1 by 3 percentage. So when equal quantities are mixed, students please be careful, when equal quantities are mixed and if you want to find them in an order, so directly you can take their average. Directly you can take their average, something like this. Okay. Next one. Solution A contains liquid XYZ in the ratio 2:3:4. Solution B contains liquid XY in the ratio 5:7, while solution C contains liquids YZ in the ratio 5:4. Okay, 3 liters of A, 2 liters of B and 5 liters of C are mixed to form a new solution. Okay, what is the percentage of liquid Y in the new solution? That is the question for us. Now please see here, A contains A, B and X, Y, Z in what ratio? 2:3:4. A, B, these two contains in this ratio. Next, when it comes to B, in B, X and Y are in what ratio for us? 5:7. And in C, Y and Z are in what ratio? 5:4. Okay, good, superb. Now, 3 liters of A. 3 liters of A is taken out and 2 liters of B and 5 liters of C are mixed to form a new solution. What is the percentage of liquid in the new solution? Now see here, they given that 3 liters of A. So from A we are taking 3 liters. So what is the total quantity? First of all tell me what is the total quantity? 2 plus 5 plus 3. 2 plus 5 plus 3. So total quantity is what? 10 liters. In this 10 liters, if I want to find the Y percentage, I should know how many liters of Y was there here. How many liters of Y was there here. So now from the first one, tell me what is the A quantity in, Y quantity in my A. Y is 3 parts out of total 9 parts. Okay, so 3 by 9 into 3. Why? Because we are taking 3 liters of A. We are taking 3 liters of A. So now what happens to this? 1 times, 3 times and 1. So I will get here 1 liter. Okay, 1 liter, see here, 1 second. 3 by 9 into, yes, I will get 1 liter of this one. Okay, good, superb. Next, when it comes to liquid B, what is the Y portion in liquid B? Y is 7 by 12. 7 by 12. Okay. And how much quantity of liquid B was taken? 2 liters. So 2 ones, 2 6. So here I will get 7 by 6 liters. Good. Next in C, what is the Y quantity in C for me? C is actually 5 by 9. 5 by 9. And how much quantity of C is taking? We are here 5. So that means 25 by 9 liters. 25 by 9 liters. Now we have A, Y quantities in A, B and C. So what are the Y quantities we have? Total Y. So Y quantity will become what from here? 1 plus 7 by 6 plus 25 by 9. Okay, if you take the LCM, what is the LCM for us here? 18. So 18 plus 21 plus 25. So what you will get here, 18 plus 21, 39, 39 plus 25, 64 by 18 liters. So the quantity of Y is here 64 by 18 liters. So percentage. So 64 by 18 whole by how many liters? 10 into 100. 10 into 100. So now please observe here, 0, 0 get cancels. Right. So next, in 2 table 9 times and 5 times. 9 times and 5 times. So 64 5s are 320 by 9 percentage. 320 by 9 percentage. If you solve it, what you will get here? 320 by 9 means 320 by 9. Corrected to decimal. What is the percentage of liquid Y in the new solution? Okay. 5 liters of liquid C. Okay. Everything is mixed. For us here, Y is 7 by 12. Okay. Here there is no perfect answer actually here, students. No need to worry. We will solve. What you will get here? 30. 64 5s are 320. That's it. Okay. 30 and 50 means 35 point something you will get here. 35 point something you will get as the answer for us here. Okay. Next one. Mixture A contains chocolate and milk in the ratio of 4:3. Mixture B contains chocolate and milk in the ratio of 5:2. Okay. A contains chocolate and milk in what ratio? 4:3. When it comes to B, B contains chocolate and milk in the ratio of 5:2. Okay. A and B are taken in the ratio of 5:6. A and B are taken in the ratio of 5:6. Now see here, students, whenever you see these type of questions, so first of all, please observe the quantities. Ratio quantities. Here 4 plus 3 is 7, here 4 plus 3 is, 5 plus 2 is 7. Both are equal. First of all, make sure that these two are equal. If these two are equal, then what we can do is directly A and B are taken in what ratio? 5:6, right? So then you can multiply this with 5 and this one with 6. Okay, first and foremost thing, you should balance these two total sums. Then only take in the ratio of 5:6. 5:6. To form a new mixture, the percentage of chocolate in the new mixture is, when I take 5 parts and 6 parts, what happens to this one? What happens to this one? 20:15. And similarly, what will happen to this? This will become what for me here? 30:12. They are asking us about the percentage of chocolate in the new mixture. Percentage of chocolate in the new mixture. Now we are adding these two, right? When I add these two things, what I will get here? 50:27. 50:27. Now they are asking us the percentage of chocolate in the new mixture is. What is the percentage I will get here? 50 by total is 77. 50 by 77. 50 by 77. If you solve it, what you will get here? 50 by 77 into 100. Okay. If we observe carefully, in 7 table, 7 11s, you will get here. Actually, it is not cancelable. To get an approximate value, I am doing. What I will get? 7 point something I will get here. Am I correct? 7 table, in 7 table, 7.14, 7.14 into 100. So 714 by 100. If you solve this, you will get approximately 69 percentage. Approximately, see here 700, okay, 714 by 11. We will solve it. 11 ones, 11 6 are 66, 54, 65 percentage. Sorry. You will get approximately 65 percentage as your answer. You will get approximately 65 percentage as your answer. So solve in this manner. So in this way, you need to solve these questions, mixtures and alligation. Remember, students, carefully, whenever you mix two mixtures in a different ratio, the first and foremost thing is try to equal them. 4 plus 3 is 7, 5 plus 2 is 7. Try to balance these two. If these two are not equal, first of all, equal them by multiplying anything. And then only come to this ratio, and then only come to this ratio. Please be careful. Okay, if not, if you go with the traditional method, it will waste a lot of time for you. Okay, it will take a lot of time for us to solve these type of problems. Understood? Next one, we will see the next one. Next one. The ratio of acid and water solution in A and B is 15:11 and okay, A acid and water is 15:11 and in B what it is 4:9 respectively. 6 liters of A is mixed with 4 liters of B. Please observe here, 6 liters of A is mixed with 4 liters of B. You can directly multiply them or. So, how much acid should be added to 390 ml of the resulting solution so that the ratio of acid and water in it becomes 3:2. 3:2. This is little bit different one. See here, first of all, A and B are mixed in what ratio? A and B are mixed in what ratio? If you observe 6 liters and 4 liters, right? So that means they should be mixed in what ratio? 3:2 ratio. They should be mixed in 3:2 ratio. So before mixing them, as I have already told you, try to equal their components. Please observe here, what is the total? 15 plus 11 is what? 26. 4 plus 9 is what? 13. This is 26 and this is 13. The first and foremost thing I should do here is I need to balance. How I can balance this one? By multiplying this with 2. When I multiply this with 2, what happens to this? 4 2s are 8 and 9 2s are 18. 8 plus 18, it becomes 26 and the top one is also 26. Now it is balanced. Now apply this one. A in how many parts? 3 parts and B in 2 parts. Understood? In the previous question already it is balanced, so there is no need to balance. But in this question it is not balanced. First of all, we should balance and then multiply it with the ratio Now what happens to my initial one? My final output will contain what? 15:13 means 45:33. And when it comes to this one, this will become what? 4 4s are 16:9 4s are 36. And when I mix these two things, okay, when I mix these two things, what happens to this one? 61:69. Okay, good, super. That became 61:69. Okay. How much acid should be added to 390 ml of the resulting solution? Now the resulting solution is, this is my resulting solution, right? Okay, this is my resulting solution. Now, how much acid I should add to this 390 ml solution so that the ratio of acid and water in it becomes 3:2. 3:2. Now, please see here, my resultant is, this is my resultant. When I add this total parts will become how much? 130. 130 parts. This is equal to, according to the given question, 390 ml. Why? Because the resulting solution I am taking 390 ml. Okay, 130 parts is equal to 390 ml. Now tell me what will be my acid and water in this one. Why? Because into 3, right? Acid is how many parts? 61 parts. That means 61 into 3, it becomes 189 ml. So my acid will be 189 ml in that. And 69 into 3, it will become how much? 61 into 3, this is 183. Okay, 183. And next 69 into that one, or else directly subtract this from this one, what you will get here? 207 ml of water. 207 ml of water. Now, they are asking us how much acid to the added solution so that the ratio of acid, how much acid I need to add it to this one so that I will need to add something to this acid, some XML, assume it as some XML. So that my resultant will become what? 3:2. My result should become what? 3:2. That means my water is how much quantity? Overall, there is no change in water, right? Water remains same. Water is how much quantity? 207 ml. That means 207 ml is 2 parts. That means 103.5, right? 1 part is equal to 103.5. Now tell me what will be this one? 3 parts. So 2 parts is 207 ml. So 1 part will become how much here? 103.5 ml. Now tell me what should be 3 parts? 3 parts should be equal to how much? 3 parts. 3 parts should become how much for us in this case? 310.5 ml. I simply multiplied that 103.5 into 3. So 310.5 ml. In this already I have 183 ml. Already I have 183 ml. Now how much more I should add here? Minus 183. Minus 183. So 0.5 will remain 0.5 and what you will get here? 183 minus, 310 minus 183. Here you will get 17 and 127. So 127.5 ml of acid I need to add to this so that the resulting mixture becomes 3:2. First of all, after mixing A and B, I calculated the portion of acid and water. And in this one, this mixture I have taken 390 ml. That means total 130 parts will become how much? 390 ml. In that acid portion will become 183 and water portion becomes 207. To this I need to add some acid. So that the result should become what? 3:2. 3:2. So I have added some acid to it so that my final answer became 127.5 ml. 127.5 ml. So this balancing is very, very important. Once again I am repeating. That is very, very important. Next one. A milkman has 80 liters mixture of milk and water in the ratio 4:1. Okay. Milk and water in the ratio of 4:1. Okay, if we added x liters of water in the mixture, then the ratio of milk and water becomes 8:5. Find how much. Okay. Now, milk and water are in what ratio? 4:1 ratio. Now, to this, he is adding how much water? X liters of water. He is adding x liters of water, so that milk and water ratio became what? Milk and water ratio became 8:5. 8:5. Now, please observe here, students. One thing is very, very clear. Whatever the quantity initially I have milk, the same quantity will be there here also, right? Why? Because I am not adding anything to the milk. I am only adding water. So, first of all, please find out what is the milk portion in 80 liters. 80 liters milk quantity in 80 liters. That is 4/5 into 80. 4/5 into 80. So, 5 ones, 5 16s. So, in this I will have 64 liters of milk and the remaining 16 liters of water. Okay. Now, the same 64 liters will come here. Will there be any change in the quantity of milk for me? No change. So, the same 64 liters will come here. That means 8 parts is equal to 64 liters. 8 parts is equal to 64 liters. Okay. 8 parts is equal to 64 liters. Now, what they are asking is what is x? From 1 to 5, right? It changed from 1 to 5. Or else you can take 4 parts or something like that, or else to make it very simple, what we will do is now 5 parts will become how much for us here? 5 parts will become, this is into 8. So, into 8. So, 5 parts will become how much? 40 liters. In this 40 liters, already 16 liters are there, right? Previously. So, now tell me what is the quantity of x in this case? X will be equal to minus 16 liters, 24 liters. X will be equal to 24 liters. X will be equal to 24 liters for me. So, I will add 24 liters of water to this mixture. 24 liters of water to this mixture. Understood? Next one. In a 25 liter mixture of milk and water, the water is only 20%. Okay. Milk and water. Water is of 20% means milk will be of 80%, right? That means 4:1. 4:1. In 25 liters means directly I can say 20 liters of milk and 5 liters of water. 20 liters of milk and 5 liters of water. Okay. How many liters of water is required to increase the percentage of water to 90%? That means 90% means, tell me what is the ratio of milk and water in that case? Milk and water to how much water I should add so that the water is required to increase the percentage of water to 90%. That means milk and water will become how much percentage then? 1:9. 1:9. Milk and water will become how much? 1:9. Now please see here, students, just now we calculated in this my earlier mixture, milk is of 20 liters and water is of 5 liters. Okay, understood? Now, is there any change in my milk quantity? There will be no change in my milk quantity. So, that means the same 20 liters will be there here. Yes. So, therefore, 1 part is equal to 20 liters. Why? Because from here to here, there is no change. Now, 9 parts will become what? Tell me from this. 9 parts becomes 1 into 20 is 20. So, similarly, 9 into 20, what you will get here? 180 liters. 180 liters. Okay. So, already I have how much quantity of water here? Already I have 5 liters of water. Already I have 5 liters of water. Now, tell me how much water I need to add from here to here? 175 liters of water. So, 175 liters of water should be added so that the ratio becomes 1:9. See, actually it is there in the percentage. I converted it into ratio. 90% of water means remaining 10% will be milk. So, that is the reason 1:9. 1:9. That is the only thing which we have done here. Next one. Ratio between sugar and water in a mixture is 9:13. Sugar and water is in the ratio of 9:13. When 32 liters of water is vaporized, vaporized means nothing but removed from it, the quantity of sugar and water becomes equal. See here, if two components are becoming equal means nothing but the ratio becomes between them becomes what? 1:1. Okay, from this to what it was changed, so sugar is to water, it became 1:1. When this thing has happened, when 32 liters of water gets evaporated. When 32 liters of water gets evaporated, then these things happen. What about the sugar quantity? Sugar quantity remains the same. Remember, sugar portion quantity remains the same. So, if quantity is remaining same, what I will do is, I will equal these two quantities. Here it is 9 parts and here it is 1 part, right? So, try to equal these two. How I can equal? I can multiply this with 9. I can multiply this with 9. So, this will become what? 9:9. This will become what? 9:9. Now, there is no change in the sugar quantity. Only water quantity changed. From 13 parts to it came down to 9 parts. That means what I can say, what is the difference between these two? 4 parts. The difference between these two is 4 parts. So, therefore, 4 parts is equal to 32 liters. What did they find? The initial quantity of mixture. What is the initial quantity of mixture I have here overall? Please observe here, 9 plus 13, 22 parts. 22 parts will become what? So, 4 into 8 is 32. Similarly, 22 into 8. What you will get here? 176 liters. 176 liters is the original quantity of the mixture. 176 liters is the original quantity of the mixture. Next one. The ratio of water to floor in a duff is 5:7. 5:7. Water to duff. Water to floor in a duff is 5:7. 5:7. Now, in this 80% of water will get evaporated and the resultant will become what? 48 kgs of bread. After evaporating, the quantity became what for me here? 48 kgs. 48 kgs. That means initially we don't know what is the quantity here. What is the quantity which we have here? We don't know exactly. So, we need to find that quantity to get our final answer. To get our final answer. So, for that what we are going to do here? 80% of water was evaporated and 48 kgs of bread was prepared. Okay. Now, please see here, 80% of water. 80% of water means, if you observe carefully, what you will get here? 4/5 portion of water is evaporated. That means, now water content in it will become how much? 1 part. Water content in it will become 1 part. Why? Because out of 5 parts, 4 parts got evaporated. 80% means 4/5. And the floor remains the same thing. 1:7. So, in my bread, water and flour will be in the ratio of 1:7. And what is the bread quantity I got here? Actually, what is the bread quantity I got here? Overall bread quantity is 48 kgs. Overall bread quantity is 48 kgs. In this, now 8 parts is equal to 48 kgs, right? So, tell me what will be 7 parts? 7 parts will become what? 8 into 6 is 48. So, 7 into 6 becomes what for us here? 42 kgs. So, the same floor will remain initial and final, right? So, in my initial case also, the duff contains 42 kgs of flour for me. There will be no difference in the duff or in the bread. Why? Because only water gets evaporated, but the flour quantity remains the same. So, that is 42 kgs. 42 kgs. Initial or final, it remains same. Next one. A mixture contains 600 ml of milk and water in the ratio 7:5. Okay. 600 ml in this 7:5. Milk and water are in the ratio of 7:5. That means total how many parts? 12 parts. 12 parts 600 means 1 part will become how much? 50. So, 7 parts will become how much for me? 350 and 5 parts will become how much for me? 250 ml. Okay. Good. If 500 ml of milk and water mixture is added, then the ratio became 5:6. Okay. Find the ratio of milk and water in the 500 ml mixture. Okay. Now, to this 600 ml, we are adding 500 ml, right? We are adding some 500 ml of mixture. We don't know what it is. Then the quantity will become how much for me? 1100 ml. Then the quantity will become how much for me? 1100. In this 1100 ml, the ratio of milk and water is what? 5:6. The ratio of milk and water is of what? Milk and water is of what? 5:6. So what will be my milk portion here? 500 ml. What will be my water portion here? 600 ml. Why? Because milk and water are in the ratio of 5:6. 5:6. So 1100 ml, 500 ml. See here students. Now what is the increase in the milk quantity from here to here? 150 ml. What is the increase in water quantity from here to here? 350 ml. So the ratio of milk and water in 500 meter, that means this 500 ml. This is the ratio, right? So what you will get here? 3:7. So this will be in the ratio of 3:7. 3:7 will be our final answer here. Why? Because we are adding 500 ml. That 500 ml is, this is the same 500 ml, and if you observe carefully, 150 plus 350, the sum is also equal to 500. To verify, just to verify your answer, if you add these two things, you will get what? 500 ml in total. Next one. Ratio between milk and water in a 120 liters mixture is 3:2. Okay, good. When 40 liters of mixture is replaced with 40 liters of another mixture having milk and water in the ratio 3:5. Okay. Now see here. Ratio between milk and water in a 120 liter mixture is 3:2. Okay, good. In a 120 liters mixture, milk to water are in the ratio of 3:2. Good. When 40 liters of mixture is replaced with 40 liters of another mixture having a milk and water in the ratio of 3:5. Now see here, when I take out 40 liters from this one, what is the quantity I will be left here? 80 liters. And in what ratio it will have milk and water? It will remain in the same ratio, that is 3:2. Only quantity changes, but the proportion will remain same. Milk and water proportion will remain same as 3:2. 3:2, right? Now, see here, to this we are adding 40 liters of a mixture of milk and water in the ratio of 3:5. 3:5. Now, to this we are adding another 40 liters of milk and water in the ratio of 3:5. 3:5. 3:5. See here students, two mixtures. 80 liters and 40 liters means what is the ratio? 2:1. Our first problem. So we have done the same thing. Milk and water are in what ratio here? Initially 3:2, and milk and water in the next. That means this 40 liters is how much? 3:5. As I have already told you, we need to balance. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 5 is what? 8. So 5 and 8, first of all, you need to balance the total. So for that, what I will do? I will multiply here it with 8 and here this one with 5. Understood? Intentionally, I will balance this one. And now, they are in what ratio? 2:1 ratio, right? So now multiply this one with 2 and this with 1. Understood? Our first two questions based on this concept only. So now, when I solve this one and add this one, what it happens to this? This one. 16 3s are 48. 16 2s are 32. 5 3s are 15. 5 5s are 25. Now we are adding both of this. So 48 plus 15, what it becomes? 63. 32 plus 25, it becomes 57. 57. We can further cancel it, right? So in 3 table, 21s and 19. So milk and water will be in the ratio of 21:19. Milk and water will be in the ratio of 21:19. Understood the concept? When we take out 40 liters, the proportion will remain same. And we are adding 40 liters of a new mixture. In that, milk and water are in the ratio of 3:5. So these two quantities should be mixed in what proportion? 2:1 ratio. So the same thing. First of all, I balanced it and then I multiplied it with 2 and 1. 2 and 1. Understood? Right. Next one. Vessel. A vessel contains a mixture of milk and water in which there is 60% milk. Okay. 60% means what I can write? Milk and water are in the ratio of 3:2. Why? Because 40% will be milk. Okay. 30 liters are drawn off and the vessel is filled with water. Okay. When we draw 30 liters from this, after drawing 30 liters also, my milk and water ratio will become what? Same 3:2, right? Will there be any difference in the ratio? The quantity will be changed, but the ratio remains same as 3:2. Next. And the vessel is filled with water. If the ratio becomes 6:19. Now, it is only filled with what? Water. It is only filled with water. So that the ratio become how much now? The ratio becomes 6 is to 19. So milk and water ratio will become how much? 6 is to 19. 6 is to 19. How much milk does the vessel hold now? How much milk does the vessel hold now? That is the question. Okay. Now please see here, students. Now we are drawing 30 liters and we are adding 30 liters, right? See, we are drawing off 30 liters and we are pouring 30 liters into it. Remember this one. Now when it comes to the milk quantity, here and here, will it milk portion or the quantity, will it change from here to here? Not from here to here, from here to here. Will the milk portion changes from here to here? No, it remains the same. So first of all, balance these two. Balance these two. To balance these milk portions, what I will do, I will multiply this with 2. So that this will become what for me here now? 6 is to 4. From this to it became what? 6 is to 19. 6 is to 4 it became. So because of what? By addition of 30 liters of water. Only water is added. So what is the difference between these two? 15 parts. So 15 parts is equal to 30 liters. 15 parts is equal to what? 30 liters. Okay, good, superb. 15 parts is equal to what? 30 liters. Now, what is 6 parts? 6 parts will become how much? Why? Because milk portion is 6 parts. 6 parts will become how much? 12 liters. Is 12 liters our answer in this case? Yes, 12 liters is our answer. Why? Because they asked us then how much milk does the vessel hold now? The vessel is holding now 12 liters of milk. The vessel is holding 12 liters of milk. Understood? After taking out 30 liters, the ratio will not be changed. It remains the same. And to this, we are adding 30 liters. So there will be no change in here and here. Milk portion remains the same. But please observe, from here to here, milk quantity will change. Remember this one. But from here to here, there is no change in the milk quantity. It is same in both the cases. Understood? Next one. A mixture contains milk and water in the ratio of 8 is to 3 respectively. When 110 liters of mixture is withdrawn and 26 liters of water is added to the remaining mixture, the ratio of milk and water in the resultant mix, okay, resultant becomes 10 is to 7. Find the initial quantity of the mixture. Students, first of all, please pause the video and try to solve it. Why? Because we solved the similar one. Okay. Anyway, I will tell you. Now, see here a mixture contains milk and water in the ratio of 8 is to 3. Okay. Milk and water are in the ratio of 8 is to 3. When 110 liters of mixture is drawn out, 110 liters is taken out, what will be the milk and water ratio? It still remains the same thing as 8 is to 3 only. Quantity will change, but the proportion will not be changed. Okay. And 26 liters of water is added. To this, 26 liters of water is added to the remaining. Then the ratio of milk and water becomes what? 10 is to 7. By adding this, milk and water ratio became what? 10 is to 7. 10 is to 7. Now please see here, what is the milk difference from here to here? There is no difference in the milk portion from here to here. So first of all, try to equal them. How I can equal this one? I will multiply this with 5. I will multiply this with 4. Why? Because 8 and 10 LCM is 40. So to equal this one, what it becomes? 40 is to 15 and 40 is to 28. From here to here, what is the change for us? 26 liters. So 13 parts. 13 parts is equal to what we will get here? 13 parts is equal to 26 liters. 13 parts is equal to 26 liters. What they are asking us? Find the initial quantity of mixture. Initial quantity of mixture means, first of all, we will find this one. Okay. Why? Because to this we will add 110 so that we will get the initial. If 13 parts is 65 liters, what about 55 parts? What about 55 parts? What about 55 parts? It will become how much? 40 plus 15 is 50. 110 liters. 110 liters. But is this the initial quantity? No. After drawing 110 liters, then this became 40 is to 15, right? So initial quantity will become how much? 110 plus 110, it becomes 220 liters. 220 liters. This 110 liters is from this. How this one was calculated by us? By taking out 110 liters from the actual one. So 110 plus 110, it will become out overall 220 liters. 220 liters. 220 liters. Understood? Right? With this, we finished some set of questions, students. In our next session, we will see the alligation rules and allegation based concepts and questions in that session. Thank you very much.